Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I am Adam Arcanist and I will be making Riftbound content. In today's video, it will be about what things on the cards actually mean. So if you're new to Riftbound, subscribe to this channel. I'll have videos on how to play and all sorts of stuff coming soon. So looking at the Riftbound cards, there are these 6 that I just pulled out to kind of show what is on the cards. So first thing we're going to look at is right here, it says Legend. Decks in Riftbound are built around your legend. Legends have what is called your runes. So for Kaisa here, this Kaisa has the Fury rune and the Mind rune. And these signify the colors that can go into that deck. Right here, this symbol is an exhaust symbol. If you play Magic the Gathering, you can, this is the same thing as tapping. So they just call it exhaust and Riftbound. Right here are the keywords. All the keywords on the cards will appear right here on any special things that they do, like reaction, accelerate, ganking, that sort of thing. Right here, this symbol was confusing to me when I first started. This means to recycle a rune. It may be confusing at first, but this just means to recycle any rune. Recycling is taking a rune and putting it to the bottom of your rune pile that was on your base. So let's say you have 3 runes. This symbol means to recycle or to move one of those of any color to the bottom of your rune pile, so you are left with 2 runes. Over here, we have the champion unit. When you select your legend, you will also select a champion unit to go alongside that to go in the champion unit slot on your board. Up here is the energy cost of units and spells. It will always be in the top left-hand corner. Over here is might. Might is the same for attack and HP. So a unit with 8 might has 8 attack and 8 HP. Kaisa here has 4, so she has 4 attack and 4 HP. Down here is the keyword accelerate, just like the keywords are always right there and in green. And it says you may pay 1 energy and 1 fury power, I guess at this point it'd be power, to have Kaisa enter ready. Now, this is energy. When you tap a rune or when you exhaust a rune, it grants you an energy. It does not grant you a rune power. Rune power is runes recycled, is how you get your rune power. So you will have to tap a rune or an exhaust a rune for 1 energy, and then you recycle it to the bottom of your rune deck for 1 more power. Over here, it's just saying this is a unit. Again, 1 energy, 1 fury rune power. So you have to exhaust 1 rune to get 1 energy, and you have to recycle it for 1 fury power. Down here, I wanted to highlight that these are the signature spells for whatever legend you put in your deck. So Kaisa has the ability to run her signature spell, Ecathian Rain, in those decks. Signature spells are only able to be played by the champion written on it. So since this is signature spell Kaisa, only Kaisa decks are allowed to do it. Even if you have the Kaisa unit in another deck, for example, this is a Fury Kaisa, you could have her in any red deck, but only if you are running the legend are you able to have Ecathian Rain. Over here is the energy for the spells. And over here is what is the power that is required for it. So you can use 3 red or 3 blue, 3 fury or 3 mind for any to pay for those kinds of spells, this spell. And this is power, which is different from energy. So this is saying you have to do 3 of these, a combination of any, to recycle those runes to the bottom of your rune deck in order to play this card. Over here, this is just the keyword for a spell. This is not a signature spell. And there's two types. There are actions and reactions. Actions can be at the start of showdowns or on their own, and reactions can be played anytime. This is a concept that is called stacking or chaining. If you have played Legends of Runeterra before, you are very familiar with how these spells stack on top of each other and they get very chaotic. If Disintegrate is played first, the opponent or yourself, you could also play Discipline. This would resolve before this would. So, for example, if you were to be able to want to deal 3 to a unit at a battlefield, your opponent could play this, giving 2 might, and now the unit might not die from it. You could not play, if you had 2 of these in hand, 2 Disintegrates, because actions can only be followed up with reactions, not vice versa. So if you played Disintegrate, your opponent played Discipline, you could not play another Disintegrate until that is all resolved, and then you could play Disintegrate, but the unit might be full HP. Here's a look at the 6 different runes. You have Fury Rune, Calm Rune, Mind Rune, Body, Chaos, and Order. There are also token cards that are in Riftbound. Here's an example of one. Victor generates these, and also a battlefield generates these, as well as there's a new card, I forgot the name of it, that will generate these Fey token units. And these are just tokens. You cannot play these without on their own, as there's no energy costs. It is something will generate these. These are gears. Seals are becoming very popular and they're pretty strong. This is a reaction. You play it. You play this, and then you can react at any point in time, basically, to exhaust it, and then you can add yourself a Fury power for this one. You exhaust it, you generate a red power, and you will then not have to recycle a red rune that you have, because this generates that red power. Normally, in order to generate red power, you have to recycle or put to the bottom of your rune deck a red Fury rune. So this makes it so that you can keep on tempo. Here's another type of gear. When you exhaust this, you may deal 2 to a unit at a battlefield. Here's an example of 2 battlefields. This is the whole point of Riftbound, is to hold and control battlefields. Each battlefield has different abilities depending on which one you choose. For example, Altar to Unity says when you hold, play a 1 might recruit unit token in your base. Back Alley Bar says when a unit moves from here, give it +1 might this turn. These are examples of some of the battlefields, and there are a lot in other videos. I will go over every single battlefield that we have in Riftbound so far. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as more Riftbound content will be coming.